Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey and Paul Bennett here on Friday, April 17th, 2015, about 4:30, was it?
4:05.
4:05 in the afternoon, Eastern Daylight Time. Now Paul's found some beer at the hotel here. This is here, let's get this in a more reasonable light for you. Old Scratch Amber Lager by Flying Dog Brewery, flyingdogbrewery.com. We've had stuff from that brewery before. Our neighbor Henry's given us some, and then another 3 bottles he found were this Hotback Amber Ale. Here, focus. Okay, don't focus. It's called by Troeg's Brewery, Hershey, Pennsylvania. Recalcitrant thing. Now, Paul found or noticed something this morning, which I'd sort of, it's one of those things that registers with you but doesn't really register with you, you know. For those of you who watch our videos on a somewhat regular basis, when I do the sort of the opening and closing throwaway shots of the creek area, there was a beaver dam actually pretty much right in the center, where the center of this picture is, right there, and it ran at right angles off from that tree that you see in the center over to the other side of that little swale, and it effectively created a pond between that beaver dam, and then there's a beaver dam that actually has remained intact, which you can't really see now because the leaves have filled in, but trust me, there's a beaver dam with all sorts of little tiny sticks and mud up there, and it has remained intact. This one, however, finally, with the high water, washed away, and it wasn't so much it washed away as it was knocked out by these logs that had been lying over here, washing down and banging into the beaver dam and knocking it apart. So that's going to create a certain amount of, how should we say, a bit of an altered ecosystem out here. So these 2 dams were built, what, about 6 years ago, Paul?
Yeah.
About 6 years ago. And of course, the beaver that was doing that was actively cutting down lots of little trees about maybe the size of your wrist. We don't have too many of those over here, but our neighbor Liz across the way had a number of them, and this beaver, I think there were actually 2 of them at some point. Did pretty much a total number on her little tiny trees down there by the creek bank. But it's been interesting. I mean, this thing is really, it really does keep the water from going back up past where it used to fill in all the time anyway, unless it got really high. Because if it gets really high, it comes around from the point of this sort of swale out here in the center, comes around that low point, and then it comes on down. This isn't too bad. Well, on first swallow, we'll see here. Paul brought home some ham and biscuits today. So we've got ham and biscuits and mashed potatoes from last night and some bean shavelings left over from the other night. And it's been a wonderful day out here in the sun. I've tried to spend as much time out here just basically being a dog, you know, looking over the porch, looking at the creek bank, taking the sun, feeling warm, basking. Great way to spend the day. So that's
we get another one tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to have another one tomorrow, it looks like, even warmer actually. It got up to 68 today in the shade. Of course, if you're out in the sun, it feels warmer. Probably is warmer. I always like to go by the shade temperatures. So otherwise, no mischief today, no nefariousness. It's just been very benign. So on that note, we'll say bye-bye, YouTubers. Bye-bye.